Hi guys, welcome to my top 10 best character list. This is especially brought to you by Dr. Nico, who requested this one, and I think this is going to be a monthly staple on this channel. I am Mr. Free to Play. I give free to play player advice, tips, tricks, and other things. And in this episode, I am going to give you guys my top 10 best characters ranked in no specific order with one rule I have to follow. And that one rule is I have to pick two characters from each role class. And when I mean role class, I mean blasters, brawler, controller, protector, support. I have to pick two characters, each one of those, to make out my top 10. Now for this list, all characters are eligible as long as I have experience playing with them. If I have not played with them, means they're sitting on my roster at level 1 or I haven't even unlocked them yet, like Invisible Woman, they cannot be eligible for this list. So this is my top 10 list. May not be yours, but is mine, and I'm going to explain why they're in my top 10, and let's get into it. Before I jump into this top 10 list, I'd appreciate if you guys took the time to subscribe and leave a like down below. This video took a lot more effort than my other videos. I spent a lot of time on this one, planning it, shooting it, editing it. It was by far took the longest out of any video I've done, so support is much appreciated. With that said, let's get this list started with my least favorite role class, that is Protector. And at number 10, and the second best Protector that I have, is Juggernaut. The best thing about Juggernaut is his special. His special allows him to taunt, add defense up, immunity, death proof, and regeneration. Have you ever tried punching through a Juggernaut? It's not very fun. You can't clear those buffs. If there's a character that can clear those buffs, please leave their name in the comments down below, because I would love who can clear those positive status effects, because I've tried with multiple characters and have not been able to do it yet, so I'm assuming the immunity cannot be broken. Other than that, Juggernaut just is a really good member of the Magneto and Pyro combo, keeping them alive. Other than that, you know, Pyro being super squishy, he helps that team out. Without him, the Brotherhood team would be nothing. Alright, next up, and my favorite Protector currently is Thanos at number 9. Why I'm such a huge Thanos all pretty much comes down to his ability. His ability generates energy to cosmic allies, which is huge when you're running with other cosmic teams. And I can't wait for this week when my 90 orange mats come in, because I am upgrading this to level 5 to guarantee the generation of energy. His ultimate's pretty nice, it cannot miss, and it allows him to revive some health. Really good ultimate. And his special can apply offense down, can help your team sustain ability when you take away the heaviest hitter they have on the other team. And that is my top 2 for the Protector class. Now up to class that is second to last, Support. And in making my top 2 in Support, first up is Groot. Back when I first started playing this game, Groot was one of those characters you just let standing to last because he was that weak. With the rework that Groot got in this game, makes him a lot more of a character you need to worry about sooner than later. Starting with Groot's special, he gains death proof. Not only that, he applies death proof and defense up to all allies. Don't matter what class or what role or whatever they are, they get defense up and death proof. Fantastic ability. And his ultimate, which allows healing, which is not the most fantastic stat, but he can also clear 2 negative effects, which is really lacking by characters in this game. And the last thing I really like about Groot is his passive, mainly the chance of applying slow to a character, and eventually that becomes a guaranteed to apply slow. And why is slow so important? When an opponent hits Groot and gets that slow, he gets that at the beginning of his turn meter. So that means unlike other times where you may apply slow to a character after their turn meter is like almost full, which is you're barely going to notice a difference, getting someone who's slow at the beginning of their turn meter before there's a chance to charge up is going to severely impact when they get to go next. And in a game that is based on the speed of your character, it has huge implications. And now, my number 1 support character, and by far one of the best characters in the game, not just me saying it, a lot of other people say it too, is Minerva. I like her so much, she is the avatar of my character inside the game. Alright, so let's get into why Minerva is so great, and let's start with her passive ability. On allied death, change speed bar by 20%. Standalone, not so great, but understanding why that makes it great, I'm going to get into it here in just a second. On enemy death, heal the most injured non-summon ally for 50% of this character's max health. If that ally is Kree, also apply a random positive effect. we're going to ignore the Kree part of this, even though she's really good in the Kree team too. Enemy death. I went from wanting to kill the character that can summon other people into the game to wanting them to be the last character standing because of Minerva. Alright, now we're going to get into her special to understand why that change of speed is so good. So when your ally goes down, her speed goes up. Most likely she's going to get a chance to go right after that ally goes down. And if you save her special, it revive a dead ally with 40% max health, apply to death proof. That is phenomenal. It really helps the sustainability of your team, and it really makes her very important, and you should always protect her on a team. Last up, let's talk about her ultimate. Steal 15% health from all enemies and redistribute to all allies. All allies receive an additional 4,000 health. This bypasses heal block. Also, you get to apply regeneration, you get to apply bleed to your enemies, and then if you have Kree, you can add deflect, which actually helps their sustainability in a Kree team. She is just phenomenal. They should literally make her another mini legendary like they are doing Iron Man. And that wraps up my best 2 support characters. Let's move on to my third favorite class, Controller. Up first in this category, I have Black Widow. She was someone I didn't have a whole lot of experience with until recently when I used her for the Graviton campaign. And man, did I fall in love with her during this campaign. And I'm going to tell you what I like about her. First off, turn 1. Highly recommend using her special, get her stealth. You get the stealth, you get the speed up, and you can speed up additional allies. Pretty simple. What this combos with really well is her basic, which here you see during stealth, 70% chance to copy all positive effects on primary target, clear each copy a positive effect. If I was still working on her and building her up, I'd probably would definitely invest in upgrading this to level 6 and getting the always copy positive effects. But just standalone, the fact of being able to copy another opponent's positive effects and put them on herself and clear them in the process, that can come into play in a big way when you're in a really tight spot. But I'm not done with her yet. Her ultimate can stun opponents. Actually, you're guaranteed to stun the character you target. This can shut down someone on the other team so quickly. And not only that, you can chain and add bleeds. She is really a good character. Solid standalone character. She doesn't even really need part of a team. I mean, imagine you'd probably fit her in somewhere, but man, just standalone, she's really, really good. And let's take her passive real quick. Her passive on stealth, gain offense up. Yes, please. Turn 1 basic just got a whole lot stronger. Alright, enough with Black Widow. Let's move on to the next one. The next character that I rate number 1 in the controller class is Starlord. And we're going to take a quick look at his special. Now, Starlord synergizes with Guardians really well. A lot of his other abilities synergize with Guardians, but his special is one that really doesn't, and it makes him a good character to fit in, possibly in some other places other than Guardians, even though why would you, but just saying you could. His special grant 2 ability energy from random adjacent allies. So they don't have to be anything special, just any adjacent ally can get 2 ability energy. You know, theory craft away. Apply blind to primary target and additional random target. This can shut people down. During the Graviton campaign, him and Black Widow together made it easy for me to get the 3 stars on every event level and not having super maxed out characters. That last node with Namor, I would just blind and stun Namor to death. And that's my controllers, guys. That's what I like. And we'll move on to the next class. Alright, we got 2 classes left. Both these classes do what I like to do best in this game, and that is just deal damage. As much damage as possible. That's what I really like about these guys in these 2 class roles. Quite frankly, the reason why I put special rules on this top 10 list is because if I didn't, this entire 10 list would be filled with blasters and brawlers. With that said, my number 2 favorite class is blasters. Now, there's not a whole lot I can say about these blasters on this list, and of course we're going to cover them because all blasters pretty much do the same thing, right? They do something special, whatever, but they just deal massive AoE in their ultimate. So the first character up in my top 10 list in my blaster category is Punisher. After I put Punisher in his top 10 list, I realized I don't have that many blasters really leveled up, so you have to excuse me on this one. He is probably nowhere near the best top 10 blasters in the game, but unfortunately, it's what I currently have to work with, so you guys are getting him in my top 10, and I'm going to tell you what I like about him. One of the big things I really like about him is just his passive ability, where he gets just free attacks every time a defender ally does a non-attack ability. Luke Cage taunts, he attacks. Jessica Jones clears debuffs, he attacks. Oh yeah, and by the way, when Daredevil gets attacked, he attacks. Bunch of free hits. When I play Defenders, the first character I always take out is Punisher. Main reason for that is to get rid of all those free attacks he gets to do. Oh yeah, and did I forget to mention, he does extra damage against villain targets. And he gives extra damage to city and city heroes. And not only that, city heroes can do 30% more damage against villains. This is what makes Punisher with the Defenders so deadly, is that if you play any villain team, you're going to do extra damage to them. Now obviously there's some villain teams that can withstand all this damage and beat the Defenders, but those are few and far in between. Other than that, you got Crossbones, he's going down. Kingpin, he's going down. Bullseye, well, he's not that great of a character, but he's going down. You guys kind of get my point. He really does make the Defenders so much better. Now his ultimate AoE is not one of the best ones in the game. It does the job, but we're going to cover someone who does even a better job at the AoE. And if you guys haven't figured out who is number one on my blaster list, well, obviously you never heard of the BKT team because it only leaves one member that hasn't been mentioned yet, and that is Rocket Raccoon. He is my top blaster. Now I don't have a whole lot of notes on Rocket. I just know what he does so well, which makes me love this character so much, and that is his ultimate. His AoE, it just does massive damage, so much more than what the Punisher does. Oh yeah, and if Groot's an ally, 50% more, bang! And you gain 2 counter, so you get to do some basic attacks back when he's attacked. And then you just pair him with the BKT, and I don't know if I'm just in love with that team that makes me think that he's so great. Just such a wonderful character, works really well on that BKT team, even on a Guardians team, even without Thanos and Minerva, works really well, as long as he's paired with Groot. And just to be clear, I did have some other favorites that are in this category, like I know Falcon's a favorite, it seems to be a fan favorite, Pyro seems to be a fan favorite. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Falcon. I have played with him a little, but his power level is really weak, so I can't really say I'm really that experienced to him. Usually they have to start cracking the 20,000 CP mark for me to say, okay, I have experience playing with them. So he was disqualified from this list. And Pyro, I honestly can't figure out why people love Pyro so much. Without Brotherhood and Magneto squishing everybody together, that's what makes him so good. Without that, he is squishy as my kids' slime they used to like to make. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Pyro. I just don't see the appeal in him being a one-person character. Sorry for the rant. I got to have one per video. But let's move on to our final class. And now, my favorite class in this game, Brawlers. If you guys have not checked into one of my other videos, then you're missing out on how much I probably talk about Brawlers in like almost every single video. Maybe only video I don't mention them on is my orb opening videos. But yeah, I've mentioned Brawlers quite a lot, and if you didn't see this one coming, then you don't know me, and I'm sad. We're gonna have to break up now. I'm just kidding, guys. Anyways, so let's get into my 2 favorite Brawlers, by far my 2 favorite Brawlers. But first up, let's talk about Miss Marvel. Why do I like Miss Marvel so much? To be honest, she's one of the only characters I can really think about that brings a bunch of mismatched people that should belong on other teams but don't fit in, or they're not ready for their team yet or whatnot, and brings them together as a team. I can't think of another character in this game that does that. Black Panther, you have him built up, you don't have Wakandans yet? Hero Brawlers. Gamora just got replaced by Menace in your Guardians team. What to do with Gamora? Hero Brawlers. And Miss Marvel makes that possible for him. And in case you have no experience with Miss Marvel and don't have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you with her passive. Miss Marvel's passive, Fangirl. This is what makes her so great. And I don't even have this fully maxed out yet. Fully maxed out is a guarantee this goes off. Right now it's only 80%, but it still feels like it goes off every single time. I honestly, until I saw this, didn't know it wasn't 100%. So on your ally's turn, if they're a hero brawler, Miss Marvel will also attack the enemy. Black Panther attacks, Miss Marvel attacks for free. Gamora attacks, Miss Marvel attacks for free. And not only this, when Miss Marvel goes, there's a chance that a random hero brawler ally will also attack. So that alone makes Miss Marvel pretty cool. But I'm not done yet. When a hero drops below 50% health, she automatically gains taunt. And not only that, because you're playing a hero brawler team, she's going to gain deflect also. As far as I'm aware, Miss Marvel's special allows her to heal, and she heals quite a bit of damage. And that slow doesn't really matter if she's still attacking on everyone else's turn. And this gives her sustainability when most hero brawlers have no sustainability at all. They can be squishy depending on the character. And this is what makes Miss Marvel a must-have character in your roster because she can take the misfits of your roster and make them work. The last character on my list, this character is a beast. That's all I gotta say. In a 1-versus-1 match, I don't think anyone can beat this character. Do you know who I'm talking about? I sure hope you do, because I'm talking about Captain Marvel. Turn 1, binary form, it's game over. It's just game over in a one-on-one matchup. And another thing really cool that I like about Miss Marvel that I'll do is I'll potentially put Miss Marvel, which you can see on the screen now, she's like 21 plus CP power. I'll put her on a team, a bunch of like 4 and 5 or 6,000 CP powered tunes also on the same roster. It doesn't matter. In Blitz, and if I have a video of this, I'm going to put it up on the screen. But on turn 1, she goes binary on whoever is the highest CP on the other person's team, wipes them out. In most cases, she wipes them out. If not, she does enough damage for them to go down next turn. And then she just cleans up all the other tunes on Blitz. It's crazy. One-on-one, she cannot be beat. I don't know a character that can beat her one-on-one, to be honest. And there you can see, game binary, she clears negative effects on herself. So if you tried to tune her offense down or weaken her defense, boom, it's gone. And she's going to hit you. It can't be dodged. And also her special, another one that I really like, it just does a good amount of damage and clears positive effects on the opponent. The only negative complaint I have as Marvel is the number of charges it takes to use these moves. But hey, just theory crafting here. You put her between Thanos and Starlord, let her go binary every other turn, it's game over. Game over. And that is my top 10. My goal is to make one of these videos every month, but changing it up a little bit. I don't know what next month's theme is going to be, but I got some time to think about it. Hit that like button, subscribe. This took a lot of work to put together. You will not believe how long this took. You would think I'm crazy if I told you. And leave a comment down below if you disagree with any of my top 10 or you think there's someone else I could have picked. But once again, I do reiterate, this is my top 10. They are characters that I have had to play with to put them in the top 10. And with all that said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.